Good evening, YouTube. Matt here, your great Canadian nerd, bringing you another Blu-ray review. Today we're going to be focusing on the 5-disc complete collector's edition of Ridley Scott's Blade Runner. Now, I first saw Blade Runner on a VHS copy my dad had, and I was too young at the time to understand what the movie was really about. Growing up over the years, I've heard more and more about it. I started actually rewatching it again in my 20s, and I got sucked into the story. At that point, I was able to grasp the story, grasp the concept, and I love this movie. It's pretty much, you know what, with this movie, what you get, if you like science fiction, what about if you like a movie by anything by Ridley Scott? Hell, do you like Harrison Ford? And if you answered yes to any of those questions, and you have not seen Blade Runner, what's your excuse? I'd like to know. This movie was based upon a novel called Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep, which was by Philip K. Dick. The film, as I said, is outstanding, and this collector's edition is packed with over 9 hours of special features. So, what does this collection actually include? Well, when we open it up, the only thing we get for an insert is a little important notice stating, make sure that your Blu-ray player is fully updated because these Blu-rays use the newest technology. I've never had a problem with it. My Blu-ray player is a PS3. It updates quite often on its own. So what do we get? Well, disc 1, we get a version of the movie called The Final Cut. Final Cut was a 2007 final envisioning of the film. Ridley Scott's not going to go back and do any more to it. He did it in 2007, and that's where he left it. Now this brings a lot of good work, a lot of extra features, a lot of extra scenes into the movie. The one thing I do like about this movie, and I laugh every time I see it, when I see the guy folding up all the tiny origami swans and everything. Ever since I saw Battlestar Galactica, I can't help it. I see him and go, "Ha! Adama!" Because it's Edward James Olmos. I know I'm saying the name wrong. I'm not good with names. On disc 2, we get Dangerous Days, The Making of Blade Runner. And this disc is packed with deleted scenes, all new interviews, outtakes. If you're a Blu-ray collector and you like special features, that disc is going to be a playland. Now, disc 3, we actually have 3 different versions of the movie. We get the US theatrical cut from 1982. Year before I was born. We get the international theatrical release from 1982. We also get the director's cut from 1992. I know there's a lot of controversy going around with Blade Runner with all the different endings. Some points in the endings, Deckard appears to be one way. Some movies refer to Deckard in a slightly different manner. It's not for me to go through and spoil the movie for you. If it's a movie that I don't think it really matters whether or not you could get invested into the story, I'll go and tell you about the story. But if it's something like Blade Runner, where the story is important, and to spoil it is to ruin it, I'm not going to spoil it. Sit down and watch the movie. Disc 4. Disc 4, we get an enhancement archive. We get extra footage. We get rare vintage footage from behind the scenes stuff that was flat out of the cutting room as well. Just a lot of stuff that was never seen before, and a lot of new material that they've gone back and shot. More interviews, more talking behind the scenes, more talking with the cast. It's another special features disc that's fully loaded to the teeth. Now, disc 5 is a unique item. Disc 5 is what's called the work print. They went back and they cut together every single scene that was shot for Blade Runner. Special effects aren't done. Special effects haven't been completed. This is the work print, the work production footage. They edited it back together and you've got the full long cut, the full long run of Blade Runner to sit down and watch. It's interesting. It's a unique way of watching the movie because, as I said, special effects aren't done or haven't been completed, so it's not as polished as the other ones are. I watched the final cut. I've seen the theatrical, both of them. They're not too bad. There's subtle differences between the two of them. I've watched the director's cut, and I don't like how that ended. I like the final cut, personally. The final cut for me that's my Blade Runner, and that's where I will watch. And, as a sci-fi fan, maybe you like the director's cut. Maybe you don't like anything other than the theatrical cut. To each their own. Now, how does this stand up as a Blu-ray to have in a collection? Well, from a special features standpoint, you're fully loaded. From visuals are fantastic. I will easily give the video quality of this film an 8 out of 10. For it being from the 80s, it's held up well being brought up into a Blu-ray definition. Audio is stunning. Absolutely stunning. Audio will always be better than video on most of these older films, simply because you can rework audio easier than you can rework the visual film. I'm going to rate the audio on this at a 9 out of 10. Special features. There is so much in here for special features with deleted scenes, with interviews, with featurettes. This disc is going to get a 9 out of 10 for special features. And, you've got 4 different versions of the film. Overall, this collection right here, now I have got the collection in a single case. It did come in a collectible steel briefcase edition. If you really want that edition, go for it. It's the same as what's here, and this fits on a shelf a lot better than the briefcase does. So for this right here, I give this a solid 9 out of 10. It's a great Blu-ray to have in any collection, especially if you're a sci-fi fan. The audio's been brought up to 5.1, so you don't have the standard 2.0. You can get 2.0 on some of the archival versions, like I believe the original theatrical is in. Yeah, the archive versions are in, they have the 5.1 option and they have the 2.0 option. The work print, believe it or not, is in 5.1, which is astounding. And Final Cut's full 5.1. So, that's Blade Runner. Those are my opinions. And I haven't read the book. I don't really think I want to read the sci-fi novel. I've heard of how the novel's supposed to end it, and I don't know if I want to. I don't know if reading it is going to change my opinion of the movie. I'm going to stick with what I know. I'm going to stick with what I like, and Blade Runner: The Final Cut is the Blade Runner for me. Pick this up. Maybe you'll like one of the other Blade Runner versions that are out there, but I know what I like. And until then, take care. This has been your Great Canadian Nerd. Hope you enjoy these episodes.